A very good afternoon from Advocate Nidhi Singh at NRI Legal Services. Thank you so much for all of you who have joined me on this FB video live programming from our head offices in India. As you know and you are aware that we are doing the series of videos where each time I speak on a topic which is relevant and critical to all those who live or reside overseas but have property interests in India. We've had excellent feedback, and in fact today's series, the information that I'm going to be sharing is so critical that I'm going to be explaining it to you very slowly. I've also been told that a lot of people who are watching have actually requested for me to speak in vernacular languages, which is Hindi, and I will also speak in Punjabi so that each of you can understand what this information that I would be now talking about is all about. So first of all, आज जो हम बात कर रहे हैं वो उन लोगों के लिए है जो अपनी प्रॉपर्टीज इंडिया में बेचना चाहते हैं. Those who want to sell their properties, they have absolutely no idea how critical it is to know some vital facts. क्या ज़रूरी चीज़ें हैं, क्या ज़रूरी मालूमात उनको होनी चाहिए जब वो प्रॉपर्टी बेचने के लिए इंडिया में तैयार होते हैं. As we all know, and we are all very aware, and all of you are very aware, that things are really changing in India. There were times when a lot of things, because systems were not that sharp, there was not so much of accountability, things could be done, could be managed, and a lot of people just feel कि अभी भी इंडिया में वही सब है कि आप जाएं, आए यहाँ पे, अपनी प्रॉपर्टी बेचें, अपने पैसे लें और वापस आ जाएं. आपको ये बिल्कुल सरप्राइज मिलेगा जो मैं आपको बताने वाली हूँ कि इतने ग्रोइंग नंबर ऑफ केसेस अब हमारे सामने आए. इनफैक्ट आज का जो वीडियो सीरीज मैं कर रही हूँ वो मुझे इसलिए इतना ज़रूरी लग रहा है that we are ourselves as a team completely surprised that people who are coming and selling their properties are getting involved in so much of problems that they are now coming to us trying to tell us to get them some help, tackle their cases, because what they thought was an easy situation कि हम इंडिया जाएंगे और प्रॉपर्टी बेचेंगे और पैसे वापस ले आएंगे. That is not happening because of a number of reasons which we would be discussing in a short while. So to all those, once again, who are wanting to sell their properties in India, please understand that you have to be very, very careful. It is not only finding a buyer and selling the property. सबसे पहले मैं आपको ये बताना चाहती हूँ, which you will be very aware of, is when in the West you sell a property, part of the system, part of the requirement is hiring a lawyer, hiring a professional. This does not happen in India. In fact, अगर आप मेरे पिछले 5 सालों के videos भी देखें, तब भी जब ये इतनी strictness नहीं थी, the accountability was not so much, the government was not so stringent, I have been time and again telling you that please, when you are buying or when you are selling a property in India, please hire a professional. हमेशा एक professional lawyer जिसको सब laws, सब कानून का पता है, उसको hire करें. होता क्या है? You come to India, आके आप अपना कॉर्नर स्ट्रीट का रियल एस्टेट एजेंट को चुन लेते हैं, बिकॉज आपके किसी रिश्तेदार, आपके किसी रिलेटिव ने उसके बारे में बताया होता है. यू गो टू हिम एंड यू टेल हिम दिस इज माय प्रॉपर्टी एंड आई वांट टू सेल इट. ही गिव्स यू अ स्टैंडर्ड टेम्पलेट फॉर्म. यू बेसिकली साइन, फिल, साइन, एंड यू स्टार्ट द प्रोसीजर ऑफ द सेल. दिस इज इनवेरिएबली द प्रैक्टिस. ऐसा ही इंडिया में होता है. ये रियल एस्टेट एजेंट्स बिल्कुल रेगुलेटेड नहीं है. इनको कानून का एक पॉइंट के बाद कुछ नहीं पता. इनको सिर्फ प्रोसीजर्स पता है कि हाँ आपने कहाँ जाना है, सब रजिस्ट्रार के ऑफिस जाना है, वहाँ रजिस्ट्री होनी है और कैसे ये करना है. इनको एक बेसिक सा प्रोसीजर पता है. इनको कोई आइडिया नहीं है कि जब पैसा आता है तो उसको कैसे रखना है. कोई आइडिया नहीं है. दे हैव नो क्लू व्हाट आर योर टैक्स इम्प्लीकेशंस, हाउ यू कैन गेट स्टक in a big mess if all your documents are not in order. We will just discuss this also in a little while. So basically, you are using an unregulated professional to conduct a sale for which you will be responsible if your paperwork is not in order at all. So kindly, please, make absolutely clear about one thing, that whenever you want to sell a property in India, you must hire a professional. Now I'm going to tell you of a latest case जो अभी अभी हाल में ही हमारे साथ हुआ है. There was a lady who came, exactly the same thing. She sold her house for a very small amount. It was a small house. She sold it from some 30 lakh INR, which is about little less than 30,000 pounds. Well, the sale went through. पैसा आ गया. पैसा उसने अपने बैंक अकाउंट में जमा करा दिया. She deposited that money in the bank account and they went back to the country they came from. And after that, after 2-3 years or 4 years, she finds out that when she was wanting to transfer that money, after 2 or 3 years, when she was transferring the money, I think it was 3 years, she was transferring the money, she suddenly realized that she has been charged a tax of 11 lakhs, which there was a freeze on her account. She was completely shocked. She says, "ये मेरा account कैसे freeze हो गया?" Well, because when she sold the property, she did not pay capital gain tax. That property estate agent knew nothing of income tax. She did not pay it. She did not. So apparently, when the registered sale deed was done, the income tax found out, and there was a check on that. They found out that the capital gain tax, which is a must when you sell a property and you deposit, जब भी आप property इंडिया में बेचें, आपको capital gain tax देना ही देना होता है. ये सबको देना है, चाहे वो NRIs हैं, चाहे वो Indians हैं, उनको ये टैक्स जरूर देना है. आप प्रॉपर्टी बेचते हैं एक स्टेट एजेंट के थ्रू, आप वो पैसा जमा करा देते हैं और आप चले जाते हैं और आपको पता ही नहीं चलता. इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट आज की डेट में are doing conducting random checks from the sub registrar's office on registered sale deeds. The buyers are also being checked, the sellers are all. In that random checks, they find out those registered sale deeds on which capital gain has not been paid. They collect the information and they start giving you notices. Now notices come to the local addresses. Now if you are a resident Indian, you can actually see and represent yourself and defend your case, explain, pay in time. What happens with non-resident Indians? They are not even there. So even if you come to know about it, this lady, she actually got the notice. When she got the notice, she gave the notice to that same property agent who promised her that he will deal with it. Now, it's anybody's guess कि income tax का जो मसला है या income tax की जो problem है, क्या वो एक real estate property agent hire deal कर सकता है? क्या उसको किसी भी तरह से taxation की कोई knowledge हो सकती है? हम सबको पता है, we are all Indians, that normally real estate is an unregulated practice and mostly people are not even qualified beyond basic level of qualifications who are dealing with properties or who are so-called property agents. She gave that income tax notice, did not bother, and after 2-3 years nothing was done. Probably that notice was just shoved under the carpet, and after that 11 lakhs of penalty, which is 1 year there must have been a penalty, and because she did not pay, it is compoundable every year, and the amount became 11 lakhs. 11 लाख रुपया उसको उसकी ऊपर चार्ज उसके अकाउंट में लग गया. That means वो ओरिजिनल पैसे से भी ज़्यादा उसको टैक्स लग गया. And then she came running to us, asking us, I'm an NRI, what do I do? Now this is a typical situation that one can avoid, and what needs to be done and how you need to safeguard. Number one rule, all of you must remember, please understand that if any faulty documentation is there, you and only you are liable. If there is any deficiency, the penalty is going to be charged on you. If there is a problem, you will be answerable, you will be accountable. So please don't think that because you stay overseas, because you have sold the property and the money is sitting in your bank, that they will not be able to access that. It is not going to be like this. More and more strictness is happening. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा और स्ट्रिक्ट हो रहे हैं और लोगों के हज़ारों की तादाद में पैसे फंस रहे हैं जिन्होंने प्रॉपर्टी बेच के बैंक्स में पार्क किया। सो माय नंबर वन एडवाइस, make sure you have a property expert, a lawyer who is well versed with all the dimensions of selling a property, may it be the procedure, the sale, actual sale, the money transaction, the tax that you are supposed to pay, and then repatriation of those funds. How that fund, after all, when you reside abroad and you sell a property in India, 90% of the people are aiming to take that money back. And they fail in this objective because at the time of the sale, they have not conducted the sale as per the regulations, as per the law, and they themselves are stunned when they're not able to take the money off the bank. So my first advice is, once again, हमेशा एक प्रोफेशनल की एडवाइस लीजिए जब भी आपने इंडिया में सेल करना। सेकेंड, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, a lot of you contact us regularly. हमारे पास रेगुलर इंक्वायरीज आती रहती हैं जिनमें लोग कहते हैं कि हमने इंडिया नहीं आना और आप हमारी सेल को हमारे इंडिया आए बिना करवा दीजिए। अब we are doing that on a regular basis. We understand that there is a requirement, but most of you also trust their relatives. सबसे पहले तो मैं ये कहना चाहूँगी, जो भी we've done a lot of features on power of attorneys, and I'm going to come back. Before I tell you what you have to do or how you have to use a power of attorney in sales, first of all, please understand that giving a power of attorney does not absolve you of any act which you are liable if something goes wrong on the basis of the power of attorney. आपने वो power of attorney अगर किसी को दी है और उसके बेस पे उसने एक्ट किया है और वो एक्ट कानून के हिसाब से सही नहीं है, तो आप ये मत समझिए कि वो पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी होल्डर इसका जिम्मेवार होगा, आप इसके जिम्मेवार होंगे और सिर्फ आप। सो पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी देना आप दे सकते हैं, कानून आपको इस चीज की इजाजत देता है। द लॉ परमिट्स यू टू इशू अ पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी in the event that you are not able to travel. There are so many people who cannot travel or who do not want to travel but have properties in India and they want to sell. This is a regular inquiry. We get dozens and dozens of inquiry on a daily basis. So for those of you who are in this situation, let me tell you that number one, if you are giving a power of attorney to any relative, may it be a mother, brother, sister, friend or a lawyer or anyone, everybody would tell you that power of attorney, और मैंने भी ये बातें बहुत बारी वीडियोस में करी हैं कि you should general power of attorney is what you require for sale. A specific power of attorney is what you require when you do not want to give powers of sale. This is a general understanding we all have. What I'm going to tell you today is that how we can, now this has come to us through experience. We've been dealing with these frauds. I'm going to tell you that even if you want to give a power of attorney for sale, make it specific. Yes, make it specific. अगर आपने सेल के लिए भी पावर ऑफ अटर्नी देनी है, किसी को भी देनी है, आप जनरल पावर ऑफ अटर्नी मत दीजिए, आप स्पेसिफिक दीजिए और उसमें लिखिए कि ये पावर ऑफ अटर्नी मैं इस पर्पस के लिए दे रहा हूं, इस आदमी को बेचने के लिए दे रहा हूं। मोस्ट लाइकली व्हेन यू स्टार्ट टू सेल योर प्रॉपर्टी, आपका बायर से बात हो चुकी होती है, प्राइस आप लोगों की फिक्स्ड हो चुकी होती है। आप अपनी पावर ऑफ अटर्नी में ये लिखिए कि ये पावर ऑफ अटर्नी स्पेसिफिक पर्पस के लिए है और ये पावर ऑफ अटर्नी मिस्टर ए को ये प्रॉपर्टी बेचने के लिए है। दिस प्रॉपर्टी इज ओनली टू सेल टू अ सर्टेन मिस्टर ए बाय मिस्टर बी and issuing the power of attorney in the name of Mr. B, so that Mr. B cannot misuse that power of attorney, sell it to whoever he likes. So one, it will stem your fraud कि वो प्रॉपर्टी को अपने किसी और भाई या और किसी के नाम नहीं करा सकता या वो किसी जनरल पब्लिक को नहीं बेच सकता, वो आपको धोखा जो है वो नहीं दे सकता अगर आप ये कर देंगे। सो ये सबसे ज़रूरी बात है जो शायद मोस्टली पीपल को ये बात की का इल्म नहीं है और इस बात की नॉलेज नहीं है दैट आप पावर ऑफ अटर्नी देने के वक्त भी स्पेसिफिक पावर ऑफ अटर्नी दीजिए जो कि बिल्कुल क्लियरली सारी चीज़ें पावर्स किसको बेचने की उसके अंदर हो। सेकेंडली, आपका फ्रॉड बच गया। थर्डली, वो जब एक्ट खत्म हो जाता है तो उसके बाद वो पावर ऑफ अटर्नी वो मिसयूज किसी और काम के लिए नहीं कर सकता। अब पावर ऑफ अटर्नी आपने दे दी, बायर आपके पास है, प्राइस उसके साथ आपने नेगोशिएट कर ली, यू हैव नेगोशिएटेड दैट प्राइस, power of attorney has been issued to a certain person, you don't want to travel. Up till this point, you have taken all the actions. Now, this you have to you have to make sure that once the power of attorney has been given, a registered sale deed has to take place. सेल का प्रमाण, सेल का प्रूफ आपकी रजिस्टर्ड सेल डीड हिंदुस्तान में होती है। जब आप प्रॉपर्टी खरीदते हैं परचेज डीड, और जब बेचते हैं एक रजिस्टर्ड सेल डीड, ये बेसिक डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं। दीज आर द बेसिक डॉक्यूमेंट्स टू हैव अ रजिस्टर्ड सेल डीड। यू हैव गिवन अ पावर ऑफ अटर्नी, द पर्सन हैज गिवन यू द मनी, it's a general power of attorney. You have not bothered because you are happy that the money has now come to you. It is sitting in your bank somewhere. You are very happy. You are not bothered what happens. And that is when the problems start. Because that person who has taken a power of attorney might not get a registered sale deed done immediately. आपने जीपीए दे दी, उसने उस वक्त रजिस्टर्ड सेल डीड कराई ही नहीं। उसने पावर ऑफ अटर्नी आपसे ली, जिसमें उसने चेक कर लिया मेरे पास सारी पावर्स हैं, उसने पावर ऑफ अटर्नी लेके आपको उतना पैसा आपके बैंक अकाउंट में डाल दिया। यू थिंक योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एज अ सेलर इज ओवर, वेल इट इज नॉट। नाउ he is sitting on that property, he has bought that property of you for say 100 rupees. 100 रुपए देके आपसे पावर ऑफ अटर्नी उसने ले ली और आपको 100 रुपए उस प्रॉपर्टी के दे। Now he does not do a registered sale deed immediately. He sells this property for an X amount, let's say 175 rupees, 3 years later. 3 years later, गवर्नमेंट के रिकॉर्ड्स में उसकी रजिस्टर्ड सेल डीड होती है। Now you understand that the tax implications will completely change. Number one, first of all, जब आपने पावर ऑफ अटर्नी पे बेची प्रॉपर्टी, उसका जो पैसा आया वो पैसा वैलिड पैसा ही नहीं है, वो सेल ही वैलिड नहीं है। आपको पता होना चाहिए, यू शुड बी वेरी वेल अवेयर दैट once you get a money without doing a proper registered sale deed, that money cannot be repatriated out of the number one। मैं आपको ये बताना चाहूंगी कि अब जितनी स्ट्रिक्टनेस है, जो ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बैंक्स हैं या अच्छे बैंक्स हैं, वो शायद वो डिपॉजिट भी ना करें विदाउट दैट डॉक्यूमेंट बीइंग देयर। बट लेट्स से banks are banks, when they are getting money they are also very excited because that is how they make money. So a lot of banks and a lot of reputable banks might allow you to park the money there. They might not ask you any questions, but let it be known very clearly that even if you are able to park the money, which now is even parking the money or depositing the money is becoming difficult, but let's say you have been able to do that, at the time of repatriation you will be asked this question: on what basis did this money come? Where is the supporting documents of a registered sale deed? So any money without a registered sale deed is pretty much useless, and you will be absolutely held accountable for that money. Number two, have you paid your taxes on this? Have you paid the capital gain tax? They will ask you for a document. You have not paid any tax, so you will not be able to take the money overseas without these documents. So that money that you did not insist, आपने उस वक्त जरूरी नहीं समझा या आपको पता नहीं था कि आपको एक रजिस्टर्ड सेल डीड करानी है, और अब क्या होता है कि वो रजिस्टर्ड सेल डीड के एब्सेंस में आपका पैसा फंस गया, योर मनी इज स्टक इन इंडिया। नाउ आफ्टर दैट ऑल्सो, let's say he gets a registered sale deed done after 3 years, you are going to be liable. Now in the interim, meanwhile, अगर आपकी जो टैक्स लाइबिलिटी है, वो आपने प्रॉपर्टी साल में बेच दी, वो 3 साल के बाद करा रहा है, वो 4 साल का जो समय है, the 4-year period, your tax implications will be calculated on that. When the sub registrar's office is notified through a registered sale deed that this property has been sold. हम आम तौर पे जब प्रॉपर्टी एजेंट्स के थ्रू जाते हैं क्या कर रहे हैं हम सिर्फ 5-7% जो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी कॉस्ट है वो बचा रहे हैं. We are using a shortcut, we are trying to save money, we are not doing proper documentation. Saving that 5-7% of stamp duty can cause a lot of headache to you, a lot of problems to get those funds released, and you can be liable. Actions can be taken against you, and your tax implications your penalties can increase, and these penalties are compoundable every year, and you are liable to pay them. Now, most of you who are of the Indian bent of mind and do not think so professionally can also think, and this is how mostly people discuss with me when I discuss with them, that okay, income tax department hamara kya kare? We are going to be abroad, we are not going to be here. If we don't pay the tax, what happens? Now I will tell you what happens. You have parked the money here, which is a mandatory rule, because आपको Indian rupees में पैसा मिलेगा, आपको Indian किसी भी बैंक अकाउंट में यहाँ जमा कराना पड़ेगा पैसा. You have to deposit the money in the NRO account, which is the rupee account for an NRI. Now you have deposited that money. You have not paid capital gain tax. Under section 226 of the Income Tax Act, आपके ऊपर केस चलेगा. जब भी पता चल जाएगा कि आपने कैपिटल गेन टैक्स नहीं है, और जो कि पता चल रहा है बिकॉज अब रैंडम चेक्स हो रहे हैं सभी सब रजिस्ट्रार्स के ऑफिस में. द इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट इज वेरी वेरी एक्टिव. सो इफ यू थिंक दैट बिकॉज you live overseas and you reside overseas, you will not be liable, or income tax department cannot get you, you'll be really surprised that a lot of people who have not paid capital gain tax, they've had cases against them after it has come to the income tax department's notice, after going through the records of the sub-registrar's office, when they look at sale deeds and they start a proper case against you, and in which the notices are given to you regularly, they're pasted. If they have the property in India, they're pasted outside the property's address. And if there is no representation from you, if there is no response from you, then these income tax department also have provisions, they also have powers, which is under section 226 of the Income Tax Act 1961, to order to create a freeze on your accounts and take that money, whatever is owed to them as tax, from your bank accounts. The bankers are given notices, the bankers cannot withhold those funds, and they are forced to release those funds to the income tax department. And people have been surprised when their banks have been emptied. Banks khali ho gaye logon ke. Supposing you do not have money, which is not true, 90% of us have money lying in India, but supposing you don't have money lying in India, they will find out where your properties are in Creator, learn on that. So the powers of the income tax department are very very strong, and there are a number of cases. So I will be doing a number of series on these. I will be telling you now in my next episode. हम बात करेंगे जो लोग डेवलपर्स के थ्रू प्रॉपर्टीज खरीदते हैं या इन्वेस्ट करते हैं या बाय करते हैं, what are the things that they must see and observe and know. उस इंफॉर्मेशन पे हम अगली बारी बात करेंगे, और उनको क्या क्या स्टिपुलेशंस और क्या क्या चीज़ों का मालूमात होनी चाहिए, what is it that they need to understand and know, उनके बारे में बात करेंगे. प्लस आई विल ऑल्सो गिव यू इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑन वेरी क्रिटिकल केसेस कि क्या हुआ और कैसे हमने इन चीज़ों को अवॉइड करना है. हम हर एक के में डिटेल्स में जाएंगे. आज सिर्फ ये बात आप जान लें दैट प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट selling the property in India, you must be compliant in the documentation, you must be compliant in your taxation, and otherwise the penalties are very very severe, and you can land yourself in a big mess and also lose a lot of money. So for those of you who have joined now late, please, I'm Nidhi Singh from NRI Legal Services. We are doing a series of these videos for those who live overseas and are planning to sell properties in India, or who have properties in India, and at some point whenever they decide they want to sell it. If you have liked this information, I would request you to like us, share us, subscribe us. Please watch us on YouTube. All these videos go there. Also, because this is so critical information and a lot of people need it, I'm going to give you an office number of our head office here in India. You please feel free to call and take information. It's completely free of charge. This is a preventive measure, part of our corporate policy of making people aware so that they don't get into problems. And you take this free information. This is India 0091 172 4637120. They can also write to us on our website, nrilegalservices.com. We are a very responsive organization, and we come back to you very promptly. We have several blogs, social media. You can contact us through any of these forums if you have any need to understand anything. I would be divulging more information on how to sell in my forthcoming videos. Thank you so much.